This is the first webcast in a three-part FASB compliance series. Look in the handout section of the control panel, which you'll find on the right of your screen, for more details on the September and October webcast. Our agenda today. I will introduce our speakers who will provide an overview of TRIREGA 1053. They will take a deeper dive into the 6 major enhancements and then the next steps for FASB readiness. We'll close with a Q&A session. A bit of housekeeping. This session is being recorded and an email with the link will be sent later today. Use the question section of the control panel to ask a question, which again, we will handle at the very end of our presentation. Okay, let's get started. This webcast is being hosted by ValueD Consulting, who has the largest and most experienced IBM TRIREGA team in the world. Services include upgrades, support, hosting, product enhancements, and training for both TRIREGA and Maximo. So this topic is top of mind for us. And today we have really big news. Inc. magazine announced that we made the list of the Inc. 5000 for the 3rd year in a row. So quite proud of that accomplishment. So our speakers today. Kirk Howcroft is the Director of Enablement at ValueD. He works with the go-to-market teams to ensure they have the tools and materials they need to deliver a successful project. He also heads up our training academy. Jonathan Turner, our Senior Business Analyst, is a lease accounting expert and a CPA. He plays a critical role in making sure the solution capabilities align with lease accounting standards, compliance, and reporting. And probably a lot of you know Art Reyes. He is the VP of Professional Services at ValueD and has spent over 10 years working exclusively with IBM TRIREGA. A former IBMer, Art has worked across all pillars of TRIREGA and has over 30 implementations under his belt. He's well known for authoring the TRIREGA upgrade process. We welcome IBM TRIREGA clients and prospective clients and our partners, including IBM. We encourage everyone to participate in our polls, including our partners. Just answer as your average client would. With that, I'll turn it over to Kirk. Kirk?
Thanks, Penny, and welcome everyone. It's a pleasure to be able to talk to you guys today. For those of you that know me, I wish this could be a little bit more interactive, but in the meantime, I'm happy to be able to introduce you to a lot of the topics at hand for the 10.5.3 release and give some background information and then be able to chat with you guys during the Q&A session at the end. To start off with, though, I did want to kind of get an understanding of the group that is here. So, of course, I have some kind of interactivity, but if you guys wouldn't mind, can you guys answer how many leases do you have in your portfolio? That being kind of an option or something that you guys can work through. What I wanted to outline here as well is with those leases, it's not just real estate, right? Many of us have our real estate leases in a certain portfolio or in some kind of system. Ideally, that's obviously TRIREGA because that's what we're talking about today. But we also need to start considering the asset or equipment leases. So when you guys are answering this poll, please answer in accordance with both the real estate and the equipment leases as it plays out. That way you guys get an understanding of kind of the full gamut of who we're interacting with, as well as the scope and the volume and the impact overall. If you don't know for sure, then at least, estimate for what you guys think it to be. All right. Looks like we've got a few of you, or a few numbers that come back into it. You can see that the majority either fall into the 100 or 10,000 plus, or even the 1 to 5,000. So you can see on the higher end of the number of leases that we have to track and maintain at a given time. I think this is really useful to understand, the gamut. Now, even those that are less than 100 or on the smaller end, the systems and the processes are the same. TRIREGA is a best in practice solution, and for that very reason, it can span from the lower end to the higher end, obviously. Now, let's jump into the overview. I wanted to talk about a few of the different items that were brought into the 10.5 release as we understand it. I wanted to focus on 6 specific major enhancements, and these were identified. And what I really like about this, and this is the Tririga culture as a whole, the reason these came up was because there is an IBM CAB, Customer Advisory Board. And so the reason we have these specific line items listed here is because IBM listens to its clients, it listens to the business partners, it takes the feedback that you guys provided. So the items I get to outline today are from your guys' recommendations, from a lot of your input and value that you brought into the conversations for beta testing, et cetera. But they're going to be listed off, and I'll go into further detail afterwards. We have the ability to create a period close. We have the ability to segregate the duties, specifically of the lease administrator and the lease accountant, that being significant. The streamlined modification process. So after it's been approved, how do I modify or adjust payment schedules and how that impacts, the journal entries going onward? There are disclosure requirement templates or BERT reports that will be provided by IBM. There's the journal entry configuration framework. What's important here, and I'll emphasize it just for a second, is now I'm able to set up my configuration framework instead of having to configure it. Obviously, I can continue to configure or develop, but I'm able to set those items up and simplify the ERP integration, which you can see as the end. Now, it's really focused on the user-driven features. Now, this has always been IBM's onset, is looking at the users, making sure that the usability of the system fits their requirements. So we focus specifically on how the application administrator and how they work with the integration or create or integrate the journal entries. The focus was the segregation of roles and responsibilities, as we talked about, the single process flow for all modifications. So there's a standardized process. There's no variations, but there's a clear and defined method to get to the end result we're looking for. And then allows for retroactive adjustments, even though there's a closed period, so that I get accurate reporting in the journal entry realm for Tririga as it integrates into an ERP system. Now, the benefits specifically, you're going to feel this throughout the rest of the conversation, and obviously through further conversations with either us or IBM as a whole, you're going to feel the benefits that have actually been added into the system. And they include, of course, the process and workflow, right? Streamlining those items as a benefit to the clients, enabling analysis and reconciliation items, improving those data accuracy, supporting the FASB and the IFRS compliance for both current and future, as well as simplifying that ERP integration and improving controllership. And obviously you can read through those as well as I can. My emphasis here is I want to get to the end goal, and I want you to fill these items as opposed to me just talking about it.